Hey, Shalom. First off, to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kwakadash, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the I came across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Low in the video is edifying, low on the I can get some from this video. Quick video through the Spirit. So like I'm going to grab a couple of precepts here in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. This be a quick video. Whatever precepts come to mind, I'll grab as well. I was just doing some research about world wars and, you know what I'm saying, and basically world domination. And basically what it be coming down to, you know what I'm saying? And when you really read into it, you really see that, these other nations really, are egotistical and, they believe that they should run. Really, they believe they should run the world, you know what I'm saying? And when you really dive into these wars and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, you start seeing that, that'd be part of it, you know what I mean? And these nations feel like that they want to dominate. They want to be the next ruling force. They want, because if you could control land, then you could control oil, you could control food, you could control basically wealth, right? You know what I'm saying? And you're not afraid, you could basically protect yourself from threats, right? So if you could be that world domination, then nobody will fuck with you, but everybody will pay tribute to you, this and that, woo, blase, blase, right? But all in all you motherfuckers are heathens, you know what I'm saying? Period. All you, and I ain't talking about, all you non-Israelites are heathens, is what I'm saying, okay? And all in all, man, it's like, at the end of the day, regardless of who y'all think got next, the Israelites got next. The so-called black man, so-called Native American man, so-called Latino man got next, period, by the way of our father's side, obviously, right? But because your father is with that's what bloodline you come from, is whatever your father is, okay? But, you people think that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have, maybe China think they're going to have next, or Russia think they're going to have next, or the BRICS nations think that. All that shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? And all you guys are going to do, the more havoc you guys cause, and the more push and tug and this tug of war y'all got going on, all you guys is doing is fulfilling prophecy. All about the war. All this talks about war and rumors of war and all that. All you guys are doing is fulfilling prophecy. That's period. Okay, but I'll tell you who got next. The so-called black man, so-called Native American man, so-called Latino man and woman. We have next, okay? We have next, man. Our people have next. Israelites have next. And it's beautiful because when I say that, people will maybe pause the video. People will laugh and be like, well, you look at these people, they don't even, the so-called Negroes don't even have a land. They don't have this, they don't have that. And that's the beauty of the Lord, man, because we're looked at as so insignificant in the world, right? But we're the people that's going to actually be that next ruling class, that next government, that next basically empire. And this empire, which is the kingdom, is never going to fall. Okay, you can read that in Daniel. Okay, I think it's either Daniel 7 or Daniel 9, if I'm not mistaken. But you can read that in after this society falls, and after this rulership basically comes to naught, right? Because thermonuclear missiles is prophesied in the scriptures, right? That's the end all be all. So once this, and who's in power right now, right? This is modern day Babylon. Okay, so once this comes to naught, right, then the kingdom, right, is going to be next, and it should never be overthrown. It should never be put down. It should never be. No one is going to be able to come up against it. Right, Jake is not going to go off no more. Right, we're going to be in a second covenant. Okay, we're not in the second covenant now. We're going to be in a second covenant, which means we'll be made perfect. Okay, period, man. And you other nations will be serving us. Period. When you read Deuteronomy 28, us being Israelites, we get you nations as slaves. That's a byproduct of being an Israelite. Having you nations in captivity is a byproduct of being an Israelite, period, man. Only reason why we fell low is because we disobeyed the laws. We sinned, man. We were being wicked. So what happens? When you read in the curses, it says you should come down very low and your enemy should come up very high, and you should go to your enemies for the one and all things, and that's exactly what has happened. Okay, but the more every time I read history, man, it puts you in the spirit to do a video, because you just get excited, like, man, you people don't even have a fucking clue of what's coming, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you could comment all day, you could show your incredulity all day, you could show how much you hate us, because really you don't hate us, you hate the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Lord said what? Basically the servant is not greater than the master. If they hated me, they'll hate you too. Okay? And that goes to prove, like, the Lord was here today, y'all would hate him, but yet y'all say, oh, Jesus, and this, that, well, you people have created a God in your mind, and y'all worship it. But the God you guys worship is no God, right? I just saw it today. They just showed images, right? Russia just opened some type of, I don't know if it's a museum or a church or whatever it was, that had the real biblical images in there. None of them was pale skin. None of them was white. None of them was pink. None of them was red. They all were brown. Period. Woolly hair, man. Okay? This is Isaiah 2:2. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. Now, hills and mountains represents two different bodies of government. Now, mountains obviously are bigger than hills, so mountain is that's the government. Hills, the mountains represents Israelites, right? The government and the power we're going to have. You hills, which you nations will have, y'all thing, but y'all will be servitude unto us. Y'all will pay tribute unto us. Y'all will follow after our ways, period. Okay? Run it back. Isaiah 2:2, it says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. See? So all nations are going to flow unto our way of living. You're going to have to. You're going to have to serve us. Okay? 3, just like we served y'all, you're going to have to serve us. 3, and I want to say this too. All you Ishmaelites had a hand. All you nations had a hand in our captivity. All you nations had a hand in our captivity. The Lord didn't forget that. Okay? Time don't work with the Lord like it worked down here. That's what you people don't understand. Okay? This is Isaiah 2. Because you people, when you read it in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, it says, it gives you the time. All right, matter of fact, let me just grab it. What is 1,000 years? 2 Peter 3:8, it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. Okay? So remember that. Okay, but you people fail to understand that, because you want to put your beliefs, the things you want to take out what you want to believe and add what you want to believe, and take out what you want to believe, take out the things you don't believe and add the things you do believe, and it don't work like that. It's either you believe or you don't, period. Isaiah 2:3, it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. Okay? So out of Zion will come forth the law. Okay? The law. So the same law we practice now is going to be made in us, so therefore it's going to be in us, so therefore we're not going to be able to go off. Right? But the same law we practice now is the same law y'all going to have to keep. And the same law y'all going to have to practice. Okay? And the asses will be whooped and heads will be bust if you don't. Isaiah 2:4. Okay? It says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Now, this proves that the true biblical Israelites are not in power and are not in the land right now, because it's a war in that land every day. An article just came out about Trump telling Hamas to sign basically like a peace deal or whatever. or things is gonna get bad. I mean, that's talk about war in the land. Let's talk about violence in the land. When we're in power, there's not gonna be any of that, man. Okay, the world will be at peace. Period, man. Okay. Let me grab this. And again, quick video, simple, right to the point. Again, the Spirit just hopped on me to do this video because I was reading, you know, and doing some research. And when you come to find out that these motherfuckers is like really think that they are even, they really think the world belongs to them. You know what I'm saying? When you look at these conquerors and these things and these motherfuckers is demons, man. They don't acknowledge the Lord, man. They think they above the program. Okay? You know what I'm saying? They think you should follow their gods and this and that, and this, you know, every time I see that, boy, you know, the zeal just, you know what I'm saying? You know, but anyway, let me finish this out and I'll close the video. It's Isaiah 60 and 11, or 60 and 10. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, and they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So if you don't serve us, you'll be destroyed. Okay, the sons of them the strangers, those strangers are heathens. They're going to build up our walls. They're going to minister unto us. They're going to serve us. That's period, man. Okay, what is that? Slavery. And you can read down. I mean, I've done videos on this topic before, but I just want to get these points. Okay. Again, lower the video is edifying. Lower the icon. Got something for this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kakadash. I want to tell brothers keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.